Hey everyone, my name is Chelsea Duncan. Hey, and I went. Sorry, I'm going to read it off so I don't miss out on the question. I went to an AA meeting, Alcoholics Anonymous. I knew they was in my town, but I never had been to one, and I thought, this would be a really good experience. Which is why I went. And plus, I wanted to know kind of how it went, because I live in a small town. I'm from Oneida, Tennessee, so it's really small, and you wouldn't expect like people to do that. I don't guess. I mean, people drink around here, but I never expected like people. It'd be a really serious problem, which I understand that problems happen everywhere, but I didn't know. So that's why I went. I thought, well, I'm going to go. Overall, my experience, it was a very interesting experience. They were very. It was at the Methodist Church here in Oneida, and they have meetings on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. They did have them on Fridays, but nobody ever showed but one person, so they stopped having them on that day. But they don't have a group leader. They each sponsor each other. Like, for example, Joe. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I don't normally do videos of myself. Like, let's say Joe sponsors Beatrice over here. They all sponsor each other to help each other, because they think that empowering each other is what really helps them grow and to be able to do things better. Which kind of made me think, well, there's nobody bigger than anybody, so they're all at the same level. So I really like that. Their goals were really clear. Their main goal was to reach sobriety and to go as far as you can in sobriety. And I really like that. And they did have an agenda. It kind of worked like this. They each took turns leading the group each week. Like a dude done it last week when I went. They said, all right, we're gonna have a moment of silence. So we did, and then they read off the 12 traditions, the promises of AA. They read off the goal, and then they asked if there was any topics to discuss, including the group or feelings, or if they need money reasons, because they pitch in money. It's kind of like paying a tithe. That's how they explained it. And then they do the promises of AA, and then they have self discussions. Each of them take turns to talk, and when they would talk, they would say, "Hi, my name is Chelsea, and I'm an alcoholic." That's how they would each speak. And then at the end, they done the Lord's Prayer, and they said a thing, if you keep on working it, you'll do good, or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. But it was really neat, and apparently that's something that all of them say, because I looked it online, and the agendas are pretty much the same. And nobody particular dominated the group. Let's see. And the discussion was really flexible. Like they had self-discussions, one person would speak, and then another would come up and say, "Well, I understand how you feel. I understand how you feel, because I feel that way too." But mine's kind of, and like they would flex it with each other, but they would connect at the same time. And I love that. I love the heck out of that, because not everybody can always connect with stuff, and I thought it was really nice that they could connect with their feelings. Of course, I didn't know how they felt, but it was neat for me to see that they connected, and it helped them to grow, and I really like that. And the seating arrangement, they had a table in the middle, and they sat around it, sat around the table, with chairs, obviously. They didn't have any specific place for people to sit. They sat wherever they wanted. And they one thing, I guess I should have mentioned this before, but they asked me who I was. I had called ahead of time, so they knew a student observer was coming. And I said who I was. They asked me what I was going to school for, and I explained, hey, I'm a triple major in psychology, human services, criminal justice. asked who my grandparents were, my parents, yada yada yada. So I felt really welcome as a visitor or a newcomer. I believe a newcomer would feel very comfortable because they were very open to welcoming people and opening up. Also, one of the next questions. Okay. I already talked about that. I would say some of the strengths of the group would be encouragement. Was one of the biggest. They were very encouraging. Not as many weaknesses as I expected of the group. The weakness was they were really hard on themselves when it came to doing the right thing and staying sober. Like one guy, I found this as a strength was he was going to get his 4-year chip. Actually, well, today he would have got his 4-year chip, and I thought that was awesome. That's a great accomplishment. If I was leading the group, I don't think I would change anything except for the seating. I would take away the tables because I feel like the tables is it's a barrier to where people are more closed. I think if there was no table there, the people would probably be more open. If they were total strangers. But from what I could see, these people had been in the group together for a while, so they were pretty comfortable with each other. I think this assignment really benefited me a lot because it gave me some experience that I'd never been around, and it was really good for me to do. I really did like this assignment. My overall experience, it was fun. I dropped my paper. Oops. My overall experience was pretty well too. I feel like it was a great experience. I actually asked them if I could come back and observe again, and they said, "Yeah, come on." They were fine with that, and I appreciate that. That lets me know that I can come back, and maybe because my theory is the second time around you'll probably pick up on something that you didn't before, and I think that's really good to have. I actually surprisingly had a good comfort level. I did not feel uncomfortable at all because learning in the human services field the last 4 years, you kind of learn to. It's hard to explain. Like, I didn't feel uncomfortable because we was in a church, and I grew up in church, so that didn't bother me. I knew I was safe, but I knew 2 of the people, so it made me feel more comfortable. If I didn't have known anybody, I probably wouldn't have been as comfortable. But I think what it would be like for a stranger. If a stranger was to come, like I said earlier, I think they would feel really welcome. I don't think that they would have any troubles getting along with anybody. Everybody they tried to make the best out of it, tried to be positive. They were very positive people. And that's one thing I think that is great for something such as being an alcoholic and overcoming that is being more positive. But hope y'all enjoyed my video, and I'll see you around.